The men's basketball team did not sell out one game at Carver Hawkeye Arena last season. It's a problem the team and UI officials are working to fix. It's a problem they never had in the 1980s when Carver was considered one of the toughest and loudest arenas in the nation.
I was there, man. It was awesome. It was bigger than football then, and it was. Basketball was bigger than football in the late 80s, early 90s.
UI business professor Joe Salentic is a huge Hawkeye basketball fan, and he says the problem with Carver is that not much has changed since the late 80s and early 90s.
The cheerleaders, even when they talk about things, they're like, these cheers are lame.
So when he was approached by the UI marketing program to fix the attendance problem at Carver, he happily made it a new business project for his class.
We had specific ideas that we wanted to implement.
There are 15,500 seats in Carver, but last season attendance topped 14,000 only 3 times. Despite this, Salentic says none of their ideas were used.
They didn't really basically care to implement whatever we recommended.
But Associate Athletic Director Rick Klatt, who asked Salentic and his class for ideas, says a quick fix is not the solution.
One of the things I don't think you want to do is start having a meeting on Thursday, not think something through and start throwing it at the wall.
But Klatt admits Carver is not the force it once was.
Carver Hawkeye Arena, the home of University of Iowa basketball.
Perhaps we haven't moved on with the times as much as we need to.
Business as usual, not in 2009. That's not cutting it.
Klatt agrees it's not just the team's job to make Carver an exciting place to be.
Todd would be quick to say his team needs to compete better. I would be quick to say, too, that we need to do some administrative things better.
But will the seats stay empty if Todd's team doesn't do better in 2010?
And regardless of whether they're winning or losing, I still think there's things that could be done.
So it's clear they can do nothing about the product on the floor. Head coach Todd Lickliter and his staff, they have to take care of that. But there's plenty of work to do off the floor to get Carver back to what it once was. So Megan, where do we go from here?
Well, Joe, when we sat down with Rick Klatt, he really emphasized targeting the students, the incoming freshmen in particular. Now, the alumni come to every game, but the students is where the big excitement really starts. So the student government created a new committee to bring them back into Carver. The I-Zone of Michigan State, the Orange Crush in Illinois, the Maize Rage in Michigan. 3 university organizations that have built their student sections in the Big Ten. And now Iowa is adding the Hawk's Nest.
We really see big things for this. We want to be the best student section in the Big Ten Conference, and we know we can do it.
The Hawk's Nest has been the name of the student section for years, but now they have an organization to run the section and put students in the seats. But the head of the committee says it's not going to be easy.
I think it will be very tough to sell the students on coming out to Carver. It's discouraging when you finish for the second time with a losing record. We have to give students a reason to want to come out in that climate.
The athletic department is going all over the UI for answers. UI professor Rich McCarty consults the athletic program, and he says one thing is clear.
We can work together, and we can fill the house with lots of students. And if we take that attitude, the place will be packed.
Last year, Hawkeye players even pleaded for students to fill the stands against top 10 Michigan State. In a handwritten note to the Daily Iowan, senior Cyrus Tate said, "Let's restore the Carver Hawkeye tradition." And it worked. 2,000 more fans showed up than the season average. But how do they make the Hawk's Nest consistent?
We're really going to hit the orientation hard. We really want to make an impression on these freshmen. This is the base. This next year is going to be the base for, greener days, better days at the University of Iowa.
I'd like to see the day at Carver where somebody has to step out, Lickliter has to step out in the middle of the arena and say, quiet it down.
Yeah. Some ideas the committee has proposed are to change CAN bus routes to make it easier for students to get to the games, give away more free tickets throughout the season, and to move the student section closer to the floor. From Carver Hawkeye Arena, Megan Sabalka, Daily Iowan TV.